Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'll interject my financial opinions as we go through it together. If you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com. That's where I dive deeper into all these sectors, looking for potential investment opportunities in individual companies, sharing those companies with everyone in the community of why I like them. I do technical analysis, fundamental analysis. I listen to quarterly conference calls. I do all sorts of stuff. So if that interests you, if you are really into investing and you want to learn more about it, you can sign up. Black Friday is the coupon code. It's one word, Black Friday. You can look at the description link below for the savings if you guys would like to use the coupon code and sign up. We do have a question and answer session that you can interact directly with me at 7 a.m. Mountain Time on Saturday. They do get recorded and they do get uploaded to the website. Let's dive in. Let's take a look, see what's going on. Starting with the dollar, and again, strong dollar, strong yields. That is continuing to the upside. Now we are getting close and are doing it, breaking out of this resistance, kind of last ditch resistance here, and we could easily head higher in the dollar. That's going to be coming from interest rates. It's us, it's what's backing the dollar of stronger monetary policy than other monetary policies. So the dollar could go up even though we cut interest rates if other countries cut interest rates faster than we do. It's all relative. But right today, we've got stronger yields across the board here. The 2 years heading on up. We've got the 10-year heading on higher, not by much, and we're still above support. And then the 30-year moving sideways, but still above all of the support areas. Everything looks good to go higher on all time frames at this time, and I will continue to say that until I see some sort of reversal candlestick or something to show me that we are reversing. But right now, this looks real strong. It just looks like we are squeezing up for another move higher on all time frames. TYX TNX ratio, we are still just moving sideways down here for the most part. We're at a very low level. We are inverted, and we are staying inverted down here. And it can stay inverted for, I don't know how long, however long it wants, I guess. Gold's been moving up, irrespective of what rates in the dollar have been doing. It's acting as a safe haven against the bond market. And maybe we're in some weird new market condition that we haven't seen in a very, very, very long time, or maybe we've never seen it. Tough to say, but historically, when this goes up, it's generally a tailwind behind precious metals, and that's generally when you get a slowdown in the market. Bond prices heading a little bit lower, not by much. We are underneath resistance all across the board here. Lower, lower, lower until we start breaking through some of those resistance areas and start putting in some, at least the bond market giving an effort to try to buy bonds. The 2 and 10, we are inverting again today, up 0.56%. And the big question is, are we going to reinvert the curve and come back up, or are we going to continue lower and get that potential slowdown in the market that a lot of people are projecting? Don't know yet. Gold up $22 an ounce, looking pretty solid today. Pretty solid candlestick. It's been coming back quite solidly. We do have a pretty big down move, pretty fast. And it's been coming up a little bit slower than that retracement. So it is possible to consolidate sideways for a while. And maybe it's time for oil to take off. And this, last time we had a big consolidation, let's go back and look at that real quick. The big last consolidation, we had big selling pressure moves. We came on up, we went sideways, kind of blew off here, big bearish engulfing, came on down, came up weaker, and then we went into a big consolidation with these big selling pressure candlesticks intermixed into it. That was the last big move from 2017 all the way up to 2020. a pretty big move, and we can take that and just overlay it on what we've got here today just to see what that looks like. Squeeze it on up a little bit, and you can see this here is that stuff there. And these fractals, they do work out pretty dang good. You know, just trying to see maybe something like that. Maybe I don't know. That'd get us up to 3,600 bucks if those fractals kind of align like that. You can kind of see my logic, the big stair step patterns, and then this one being that big selling pressure move there. So maybe we get all the way up to 3,600 bucks before getting any sort of slowdown. Silver still looks really good here, guys. I've been looking at I was just looking at this chart. We have a falling wedge, a big bullish breakout of it, and then downward facing falling wedge. That looks good to go higher. Looks good to go higher. I know people are probably looking at Bitcoin getting, I'll say, sidetracked at other stuff going vertical, maybe some micro strategy. But I think this looks fantastic for a move higher. I like it a lot. Platinum up a little bit. That's also got a similar pattern to silver. We'll see if we can get some traction to the upside. And then palladium's up 1%, another big move. And then the flag pattern. And I think it will eventually work its way on up. It looks good. GDX up a little bit. We've got GDXJ up some and SOLJ. They all have roughly the same type of looking pattern. Not huge, big candlesticks. It's not like people are just diving into GDXJ or GDX. We got these little wicks at the top. They look okay, but not a clear picture here of where we're going to go yet. We're above support for GDXJ. We're above support for GDXJ. You know, the support down here, and SOLJ is still underneath. It's got a little bit more room to work its way on up before we hit resistance, but they look okay. I think they'll change if gold and silver start to take off. And then the XAU to gold ratio, we were up a little bit today, but we're at a very low point here, guys. We are really, really cheap. And that's where generally you make good money, is when you buy when it's cheap and then you wait. Be real patient for that. And we've broken out of the downtrend. Everything looks good from this perspective. We're basing out here, and we're still basing out. And I think eventually it'll work its way on up. Crude oil. Now this is a big move here, up 2%. We got the big bullish engulfing here. That's where I said look for a move higher. We got the bloody nose and then the one last little small down day. And now we're starting to head higher, and we closed quite strong. So I think at least what I see in the markets is this looks like it's trying to work its way on up. It looks good. Now I know there's a lot of people out there calling for oil to crash and for gold to continue higher. And by me looking at this right here, this could be a start of a potential move higher. So that's where my mind is at. And the ETFs are supporting my view on that and the positioning in the equities. We can also throw a nice little downtrend line on this. Maybe this guy here. That's only two hits, but we could break that next, and we'll see if we can do that. TTF gas up 4%. We are eating through inventories with the cold weather over in Europe. The smaller days of coverage on natural gas is going to light this thing to the upside. It's going to light it up. Because if they continue to get cold weather, you eat through that inventory faster with lower days of coverage. So this could be a fire starter, man. It really could. And that also translates into higher prices in America, Henry Hub. Here we are breaking out of this basing pattern, kind of a shoulder, head, shoulder thing going on, and a cup and handle too. But it looks good, and hopefully we can keep the momentum going to the upside if you're invested in natural gas. Our boy XOP, yeah, you know me. Oh man, it looks good. It looks good. It looks good, guys. So we're right underneath this resistance line. It's a shoulder, head, shoulder. This has got a lot of potential here. A lot of potential. We're underneath resistance. We're breaking out of resistance, and we're getting close here. So we could do a little bit of back test or pause here. It's possible, but the way I view it, it looks good. Crude oil looks good. Natural gas looks good. Now, when natural gas and oil goes up, it means that we could see maybe perhaps more drilling. And then energy service companies are also going to go up. So we're up 2%. We're up against resistance. Kind of looks like a shoulder, head, shoulder, or a double bottom there. So it looks good. We're up against resistance. Let's see if we can break through it with the price strength in natural gas and oil. We also have strength in XLE, which is broken to the upside there of the larger oil and gas exploration companies and stuff like that. So that is breaking basically to almost all-time highs here. Hiya, hiya, hiya. Looking at Newcastle coal futures, I said before, if TTF gas continues to go higher, that we're probably going to see coal go higher. Here's your bullish engulfing. Higher, 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 bullish engulfing, bullish engulfing, bullish engulfing, boom, boom, boom. Let's go. That looks really good. And we're right underneath resistance with higher lows. Stepping up into it. All of the coal companies have already broken to the upside, if you guys want to know, in the equities. So they're already running. Profitsby Uranium Trust, we're underneath resistance. It's going to break here, guys. It's going to break any second. We've got nice, good positioning, I'll call it. You know, the candlesticks falling down like that. It's good. It's going to go. Be patient, and we'll probably see a move higher with oil and all the rest. Uranium physical spot futures pricing, whatever you want to call it. Down a little bit today. We've got support there, so still looks good to go higher. I wouldn't be too worried. URA, we're seeing positioning in the equities. It's looking pretty good. We're up 3.5%. Looks good to continue higher. Nice strong closing. Uranium also up 3.5%. Looks good. Broken downtrends, all that stuff. Here's your double bottom. You're a champ if you bought it down here or down here on that falling wedge. That is where you're a pro. That's what we do on the website, baby. No, it's all good. But yeah, it looks good to go higher. URNJ also working its way on up, double bottom. Pro if you're here, or here if you want to take the chance, or here on that wick if you're super, super, super aggressive. But that looks really good. Continue on up, and we'll see if we can keep going. Copper down a little bit. We're still by support-ish area, so it looks good. It's holding on at this moment. COPX getting some positioning in the equities, and that also looks very strong for a move higher. We've got iron ore moving sideways, but guys, I think this is it's gonna go. Look at all these. So what you see is you get big, large selling pressure candlesticks like this, and then you see a contraction, contract, 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 contract. It's nothing right now. Like this is what you need to be keen to, and your entry point is actually before it takes off. And there are entry points that are correlated to iron ore and other areas that pay gigantic dividends that you can collect and wait for this to materialize to the upside. It looks really good, in my opinion. Aluminum, right at resistance. It's about to break any second, hopefully. And then we'll launch it for our aluminum companies. Nickel, just moving sideways. It still looks good. It is consolidating. Kind of putting in a double bottom here, I think. We've got good support through here, so let's use it. We've got Moo up 1.5%. I've talked about this being on support and why I'm bullish. I'm bullish because of the falling wedge. I'm bullish because of the support that we've got going on there. I'm bullish because of the candlesticks that are being formed in this box over here. And then you'll see the red candlesticks start to get smaller and smaller with time. Then we're going to start to elongate the big green guys. Green army is going to show up, and we should see this thing start to work its way on up. Emerging markets moving sideways. We got stronger dollar, stronger yields, and some of these sectors do not like that. We're waiting for those conditions to change. In emerging markets, we've been waiting since 2021. We had a break here, but Powell raised rates and held this down through the strength of the dollar and interest rates. Now we're waiting for that to turn where we can run. But we need that to turn. KRE looking good, up a little bit today. Small down candlestick still looks good to go higher for the regional banking ETF. TAN doesn't like those strong yields, strong dollar. This has been kind of just chugging lower with that market condition. Lithium up 0.64%. This looks good. It looks good. It's about to break here any second. We have broken out on the shorter time frames. We haven't closed on the monthly candlestick yet, but this looks good, constructive, and let's see if we can get a little bit of rippy going on. REMX is doing the same thing. We're squeezing here between support and resistance. Eventually it'll break. And I do think it could potentially break upward, and we'll have to wait and see if it does that, which I think it will. My guess. That's why we put the double bottom down here, the booty bottom. Baltic Dry Index, we are pulling back a little bit. This has just been oscillating about the support resistance area. We've just been oscillating around about it. XHB up a little bit. Now, what's going on with home builders? I thought that higher interest rates are bad. Well, we are short homes, period. So we'll see what occurs here. It's going to be a difficult read. We don't have a ton of inventory. People are buying new homes. It's just not in huge quantities. The sales are down, but there's nothing really out there to buy. So that we're kind of in equilibrium to some degree over in the housing market. Russell 2000, we're bouncing off that support. We had a nice big bullish engulfing here and a smaller move lower with those candlesticks. So that looks good to go on higher. The S&P 500 just working its way on up a teeny bit. Still looks okay. I don't know. What I'm seeing here is a move lower, and then we're seeing kind of this. So we could maybe head a little bit lower. NASDAQ sideways. We'll see how this kind of transpires over the next few trading sessions or weeks. SMCI up big, 15%. I'm not touching it though. I have no interest in this overvalued market, guys. NVIDIA up 0.53%, right up against resistance. We'll see if we can get up above that. I mean, we're right on top of it. Bitcoin up 3.8%. That still looks good to continue higher until we get a reversal candlestick. We don't have that yet. Ethereum up 9.15%, looking like it wants to catch up to Bitcoin. Big move higher. And then kind of the flaggish type pattern that we're breaking to the upside. So that looks good to go higher for Ethereum. It's also going to break the bigger pattern here, which could be a very big move. MicroStrategy, this is exactly what you don't want to see. This is a big bearish engulfing candlestick. I wonder if we're actually going to get a reversal. I'm going to watch it just for the heck of it. What I generally see in these, if you guys want to learn topping patterns, you'll get a bigger move, like you'll get a move here. Your first move's off this bottom here. So you get a break. You get a break out of the pattern. Then you get a retest. So this is wave one, wave two. Your retest kind of comes to a kind of a corner there. We break out of that, come up. This is your wave three. Wave four is your sideways action there. And then what I think you're going to get is a wave five. And then you're going to see a reversal. Something like that, potentially, maybe. But we'll see. We'll watch it together. As we get better at identifying these things, we'll learn more. Also, this area here is where a lot of commodity companies are at. We've got the base, the breakout, and then coal and all these other ones are right in this spot there before the big move higher. And that's where your risk reward is best, is when you buy off these low areas versus chasing things that have gone vertical. That is where people get into trouble. It's when they go vertical and then they get into trouble chasing price. So that's why I'm using MicroStrategy as an example. And the VIX, VIX is pulled back just a teeny bit for volatility. But that's what I've got for today, guys. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website. Black Friday, one word, coupon code if you like. We've got a 7 a.m. question and answer session on Saturday, Mountain Time, if you want to join and ask questions. We have a yearly discount going on with that Black Friday special. Check it out. It's in the description link below. And that's all I've got for today, guys. So we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.